So anyway, starting off with Stronger Super, and there's been a lot of suggestions made by organisations such as the Association of Superannuation Funds of Australia, ASFA, and others, that there's a lot of complexity in getting the Stronger Super legislation in place, and of course a lot of it's still yet to pass through the Parliament. So there is some concern that super funds are not being given enough time to get their houses in order and to get across the technical elements of that. So my question to the panel is the industry going to need extra time? And if so, how much time? And I'm going to start with the administrator here, Tim Buskins, because administrators usually face the hardest task. So Tim?
Thanks, Mike. I knew you'd start there. I think to answer the question, we need to break down Stronger Super into its component parts. I think we need to understand that there's obviously the product side being the Myer Super and the SuperStream side. I can only speak from an administration perspective in terms of the Myer Super. We don't perceive too much of difficulty in the time frames from a system design, because APRA came out very early on talking about Myer Super being an investment option, and it's largely based around default arrangements. Now, AAS for the group, as you know, we're focused more on the industry fund side, and that sort of fits in nicely with that model. On the SuperStream side, time will be an issue. And again, we need to look at SuperStream into its component parts. And I'm not talking about necessarily the traditional way that we've spoken about SuperStream, rollovers and contributions. I'm talking about unpacking that even further and saying the standard message that ATO are looking to set up has three component parts. It's data format, it's messaging format, it's payment format. And if we look at those elements, I think payments is basically looking at using banking arrangements, EFT. Most of us, or in fact all of us, should do that now. The messaging format, I think there've been a good engagement from the ATO across the industry. We're close to, and we're seeing some of the regs come out on that, and we're fairly comfortable from an administrator's side around that. The data format. But then the messaging format in the middle, that's the piece that's concerning. And that's the piece of how we're going to move messages across our systems. The ATO, and you know, they have got a 15-year vision here, are looking to implement right now a Taj Mahal bleeding edge messaging framework. We think that, you know, to do that in 9 months, it will struggle, the industry will struggle.